National Secretary ke BJP ubakmi ka jala Meghalaya Antony hak arpo trik yayong kenno Liang Pyrshah India block balaya lamda ke Kongres bakila pulom ikilai teliki bil bakongsan bala wanrah hak dor bar kerpang jong ke parliament ke balalong hak kan rio haduk kat pratrik yayong kabakan top ka 131st Constitution Amendment Bill kabatmu ban penyaklat ka bahak ki kynthei na ka delimitation ni ka jingthmu ki constituency. Light liki bill lawanra da ka sorkar pedeng hapo ka jingalam jong umintri rang bakdu kari da ka jingthmu ban pentik na bagi kynthei jong kari ki badan palan 100% ka jingbun patba ha kari jongi kinyo lang yakalat bamar kumju bar ka jingbam no shilyang hagi kambaya day bar ka sensyar patba ong Antony. Kenno bagi parti Liang Pyrshah ikla penslam hakabaya day bagi kamban tauan. Henry kabas ngosi kalong bahai kini ki arsngi jong dorbar ki dekat ke India ki bakan thop ya ke Kongres Samajwadi Party TMC DMK kila penthut bat khanglat ban wanrah ya ke bil bat ha ke bakat do ya ke bil bal wanrah da menteri rang badu da ka jingthmu ban penthik na ya ka jing penyo hok bat ka jingbam sha liang ha ka jinga shim benta jong ki kynthei kala pulom no ula ong Antony ong bak rekod rekam jong ke Kongres kalong ban Pyrshah ya ke bil hapadeng usnam kat kendai spak kendai hadu arcar lai hagapor ba umintri rang badu barim atal bihari wajpayi ke sorkar NDA kelawan ra hadu sausien ya ke women reservation bill Henry ke Kongres hagi tegis nemru kela pentikna baka bil kanam yo ya ke jingmenjur hapo parliament ong hakabaya day bat ka arajar lai act do bakaday ke badan benta bat ke census bat ka delimitation ke batmu ban pentrekam house nam arajar lai pesau lakot penlong ya ke dorbar da ke sorkar NDA ban pentikna bakanam penyesok bat ke delimitation bat ban pentikna bahau arajar kendai kani ke bil kan urlong shisha ong Antony bendra ba umintri kampo yeng Amit Shah dep pentikna iki jela hakabaya day berkejing sngokia halor kisit Amit Shah kedo syai ba mau berka sorkar ki kloy bandan ya kanu kono ko jingpen kela bakinam dan ki jela ki bandu no iki sit ki beladan lupa haman ki jela kandon ke jingkiu ko basan pesen ha ki jela but only hakarukom ke ban om no shilyang ong man ki jela hakari India ka bakan thop yak Meghalaya kin yo i ka jingkiu ka jingdan ki sit hakaluk sabha kumba kalong menta ka Meghalaya ka dan arngot ki MP lok sabha Henry kala bandan no lai ki sit bat kan pentik na ba iwe na ki laingot ki MP na Meghalaya kan de ke kynthei benram Antony penya so ya ka delimitation ka bala rimba ha ka jingdon kinong mikman ya upot usam la dapan rai kat kum ka census ka bala le na do usnam kat kandai spa nyapuai hagapor bagi nong shong shnong jong kari India kidang don tang san pusau klur bat menta ka jingdon ki nong shong shnong kalakon syaka palat shispa sapho klur ong
I'm here to discuss on some very important issues that the whole country had seen in the previous week. On the 16th, 17th and 18th, a special session of the parliament was convened, and during the special session 3 bills were moved by the union government. One was the Constitution 131st Amendment Bill, the second was the Delimitation Bill, and the third was the Union Territories Laws Amendment Bill. All the 3 laws were moved by the Union government led by a Prime Minister with a historic motive to ensure that the women of the country, who constitute more than 50% of our population, gets equality and fairness in our democratic processes. However, Unfortunately, in the 2 days where the session took place, the India Alliance members, the Congress Party, the Samajwadi Party, the TMC, the DMK, they all unfortunately sabotaged the bill. And finally, the bill that was moved by our Honorable Prime Minister with the sole intention to ensure justice and fairness and democratic participation for our women, it fell through. This is not the first time these kind of activities have happened, which was led by the Congress party. There was a track record, a very clear track record of similar happenings in the past also. In 1996, it was the first time where then the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister Devagowdaji's government, where the Women's Reservation Bill was bought by the government for the first time. At that point of time also, the Congress party that was giving them outside support did not support it and the bill got sabotaged. Between 1998 and 2003, when the Honorable Prime Minister of India was Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, 4 times the Women's Reservation Bill was moved by the then NDA government. The bill requires 2/3 majority in both the houses. And the Congress party again during that time also ensured that the bill did not go through in the parliament. In 2010, it was the time of the UPA government, and during that time, the Bharatiya Janata Party, as a responsible opposition party, ensured that when the Congress party moved the bill in the Rajya Sabha, the party wholeheartedly supported that bill. But yet, because of electoral compulsions, the UPA government did not move the bill in the Lok Sabha, despite the chairperson of the Congress party and the UPA being a woman, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. The bill was not even moved in the Lok Sabha, and finally it did not pass again. In 2023, the Narendra Modi ji government passed the Women's Reservation Bill, and since in 2023 the NDA government had a very clear majority, the Congress had no other option but to support it, a pro forma endorsement when obstruction was no longer possible. However, according to the bill that was passed in 2023, it was linked to the delimitation process and the census of the currently ongoing census, which will only be over by 2027. And in the version that was passed in 2027, with that version, it would have been possible only to introduce the Women's Reservation Bill and make it applicable by 2034. So this parliament session was called by the NDA government to ensure that it is delinked from the delimitation process, and that in 2029 itself the bill can become a reality. The Congress party and the India Alliance members, they created a lot of false narration and ensured that the bill does not go through. The Honorable Home Minister of India, while answering many of the questions of the opposition, had very clearly mentioned that he and the government is willing to have an amendment of the bill that was moved in the parliament, where no state will lose any existing seats, and every state a 50% increase in state will be done in a equitable manner, so that finally in the newly composed house also the current composition of the parliament will be absolutely maintained. Every state in India, including the state of Meghalaya, would have seen an increase in Lok Sabha seat. Currently Meghalaya have 2 Lok Sabha MPs, it would have become 3, and it would have ensured that at least 1 out of 3 MPs in the state of Meghalaya also would always have been a woman. Such a opportunity unfortunately did not happen because of the negative politics of the Congress party and the India Alliance. The delimitation is a constitutional obligation that has been postponed for a long time, that has led to the serious imbalance in our representation. The current parliament at this moment, there are 545 seats, and the seats and the boundaries have been decided based on the last census that happened in the census that happened in 1971. when India's population was only 54 crore. Now India's population is 140 crore, and the current amendments of the bill that was brought in by the NDA government would have ensured that the current parliamentary realities would be, it will be proportionate to the existing realities in the country, and that our women, who are 50% of our population, would have got equitable democratic participation. However, the opposition has very clearly, they have tried to mislead the public. They have sabotaged one of the most important bills that have been brought into the parliament by any government, this time by the NDA governments, because the Congress and its allies fear that a woman receive their historic rights under the leadership of a prime minister, then remaining political ground they have will also slip away. And this is not surprising, because this is the same Congress party, the same India Alliance members that in 1980s they had denied justice to a woman, Shabano, and had then stood with some of the radicals of the Muslim community. And it is the same Congress party and the India Alliance which, even 3 years back, when the Narendra Modi government, when we abolished triple talaq, was again standing with a lot of reactionary forces. Ensure the population of India, the public of India, is that the Modi government will firmly fight this anti-woman forces in the opposition, the Congress party and the India Alliance members, for the rights of women, so that half the population of the country receives the place it rightfully deserves. The time has come for our women to respond through the power of their vote and push these arrogant and anti-woman parties to the margins of politics forever. The Bharatiya Janata Party strongly condemns the shameful, the undemocratic and anti-woman conduct of the opposition alliance, which we all witnessed in the parliament on the 16th and 17th of April. As I had already mentioned earlier, there have been multiple instances in the past when various governments, once by Devagowdaji's government, 4 times by Atal Bihari Vajpayeeji's government, where various governments had tried to bring in the women's reservation bill. But the current opposition that now claims to be supporting the women's reservation bill and delimitation, all those times they raised technical issues and did not support. Now also in 2023, it was unanimously, it was almost a unanimous vote where 400 plus member of parliaments, when compared to 2 against, had supported the 2003 version of the bill. But in the 2003 version of the bill, it was said that the women's reservation will happen after the delimitation process, which will be most likely ending sometime in 2027. And after all the due processes, most likely the women's reservation bill in the 2023 version would have only started from 2034 or beyond. You asked a question which is, why not in the current form? The reasons are many. At this moment there are 545 seats, and in the women's reservation bill, 1/3 of the seats will be reserved for women. There will be a lot of political, even among the opposition itself, the parties that are claiming to support women's reservation bill itself, there will be a lot of lack of consensus when it comes to the seats that need to be reserved, which will again create another technical issue, which will ensure that this bill again won't become a reality. Which is why our Prime Minister and our government had done a methodological analysis and study of the situation. And finally, the Home Minister in the floor of the Parliament had very clearly said that what we are going to do is, we are going to increase the number of seats by 50% in every state. For example, the state of Meghalaya got 2 seats, it will become 3. The state of Kerala got 20 seats, it will become 30. The state of Uttar Pradesh got 80 seats, it will become 120. So every state will have a 50% increase in seats, and that new seats will be, or based on the delimitation committee's recommendations, 50% of those, 33% of those seats will be reserved seats. So this way, it will ensure that there is fairness, and it is also representing current realities. Currently the 545 seats we have, it is based on 1971 census where India's population was only 54 crore. Now India's population is 140 crore, and in many of the constituencies across India now there are a lot of imbalances because of rise and fall of population in many places. All that would have been corrected right now, and the government was proposing equity and fairness and democratic participation for women, and also the parliament participation based on current reality.